Do you feel anxious, stressed, panicked, depressed? Today I wanted to talk about these emotions. I worked with a client 2 days ago, and these were the big ones that she had, and I wanted just to talk a bit about them with you today because she had such an amazing result, and I really need to tell you about it. So I had a young mother of two little girls, who came to me, and she was depressed, really, really depressed, struggling to get out of bed in the mornings, really struggling in life in every aspect of it. You know, she was really struggling to get out of bed, to participate in her kid's life, to help them with their homework or get them to school or all of that kind of stuff. She was struggling with work. You know, she was currently on sick leave because she really couldn't get herself to work. Okay, she was struggling in so many areas. Okay, so the biggest emotions that we start with, obviously with Creatrix, was she had anxiety. She was anxious. She was depressed. She was panicked. And, you know, I know you may say, well, Maria, they may be the same thing, anxious and panicked. But you know what? For every woman, every person, they're different. For some person, they may be the same thing. But for her, they were two totally different things. They had different triggers. They had a different reaction in her body. You know, she reacted differently to them. So they were two totally different things for her. And anger was another big thing that was running her life. You know, she told me that she couldn't, you know, get out of the house on some days. She'd cut herself off from her friends. She was yelling at her kids all the time, and she felt like a bad mum. So she had taken steps to say, right, I want to get rid of this. I really, really don't want this to be my life. So, you know, congratulations for that step. Now, when she come for our first session, you know, she'd paid the money, she'd committed, she'd done the work, and she sat in the chair opposite me, and she said, she was panicked. Okay, she was so panicked that this wouldn't work. So, you know, even when you know you want it, you know, it's just human nature to still have that bit of, I'm not sure if this is going to work, to be skeptical, to really wonder if this, you know, is going to work. Is this too good to be true? You know, I hear about this Creatrix stuff. How could somebody who has depression or has anxiety or has PTSD, how can they get rid of it in, you know, in such a short amount of time? I'm not sure I believe it. Well, this client sat in the chair, and she was absolutely panicked. She wanted to change her life so bad that she was fearful, panicked that it may not work for her. Okay, so I sat there and I told her that, you know what, now that you're here, you're in this room, I'm not going to let you leave until we, you know, make progress. Okay, you're not going to leave until you feel different. And we worked on the 5 emotions that were at the top of her list. I put panicked to number 1 because that was what she was feeling in that moment, right? It was at its worst. It was intense. It was 10 out of 10. It was the strongest. Until I got rid of that, nothing else would have worked either. So we worked on that first. But I just want to tell you just a few of the other emotions that were on her list, okay? We have a list of everything that's going on. And because she was in such a state of anxious and depressed, you know, she felt hopeless. She felt overwhelmed. She felt sad. She was definitely irritated and insecure. She felt jealous of people who could just, you know, go out the door and go and have a cup of tea and be friends and happy and, you know, do all of this stuff, you know. So there was a list of probably about 30. Okay, but we started and we did anxious, which when we started was a 10 out of 10. We did angry, which was a 10 out of 10. We did impatient. because she found that that was really, really affecting how she was dealing with her children, as well as the anger. And we did depressed and panicked. So we did 5 emotions. In that one day, we literally released them from her being. Okay, when she opened her eyes and, oh, Maria, I feel different. I feel lighter. I could see her difference. Her eyes were lightened up. Now, I know it is really hard for people to understand what that might look like. How could you possibly know that that made a difference? Well, I want to read out she sent me a message the next day, not even 24 hours after our first session. And this is evidence for her that this worked, and it was evidence in her everyday life. Okay, it's not just something she felt inside of her. It was her reactions and her interaction with other people that gives her this knowledge that, oh my God, this worked. So yesterday at 8 a.m. we finished at 2 p.m. the day before, I think, so not even 24 hours. I got this message, oh my God, big print, oh my God, Maria, you have changed my life. I don't even know how to begin to thank you. So I just want to read out a couple of the posts that she sent, because it gives you an idea of how this affected her life in less than a day. Okay, so it's not just, I don't believe it or I can't see it. This is evidence, okay? So she said, I'm so happy. This is the first morning that I can remember my daughter leaving for school without crying beforehand, because I am always yelling at her. Okay, so that's one. She got up, she didn't yell at her kids, she got them to school, and everybody was happy. Yesterday, I sat with her for 40 minutes doing her homework. And I didn't get the shit and make her wait for my husband to get home to finish it, which is what I normally do. So that's, another piece of it's just something that she did without even thinking, and she had no anger, no irritation, no response that I can't do this. She just did it. Okay, then I feel incredible. I must have wasted so much time running around in a panic before. What does it say? I actually didn't even think about getting out of bed. I just did it. And it just happened, and I feel so great. So before, she was really struggling to get out of bed, and there were days when she just couldn't. She couldn't leave the house. She couldn't get out of bed. She didn't want to participate in life because her depression was so bad. And the last piece here, what does it say? There was another one. Oh, sorry for the late reply, because I asked her if I could talk about her story. So she got back to me in the afternoon. Sorry about the late reply. I have just been out for coffee in the sunshine with friends. I feel amazing. So that was something, she hadn't been visiting or spending any time with her friends for ages, because she just didn't feel like she could get out of the house, for one. She didn't feel like she had anything to offer. She was so depressed, so withdrawn, so closed off in herself that she didn't want to spend time with people. And here she is, out having coffee with friends, and it was so great. So these are, they're things that have happened in her life to give her, proof that she has changed. I didn't do it. Creatrix helped her change her life. And you know what? We've just done one session, and we've got a couple to go. But I just wanted, if you've been out there and you've been wondering and you've been doubting and you've been thinking, how could it possibly change? Well, this young mum, she has 2 beautiful daughters who she loves and cares about. And she said, you know what, I'm so busy yelling at them all the time now that they're yelling at me. And we don't have that wonderful mother-daughter relationship. This will change her relationship. It will change her daughters It will change the way that they all live their life from now on. She's taken steps to create change in her life, and congratulations for her for doing that. And I am so pleased to get this feedback of these amazing, wonderful results. And I wanted to share them so that you know it is possible. If you're struggling, if it's depression, if it's sadness, if it's anxiety, if it's overwhelm, if it's all of them and so much more, it is possible to get rid of it, to stop it and live a better life. And it's quick and it's painless and it works. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.